with people, and we bond. I mean, they become an extension of Calvary Chapel Greer. They're our brothers, they're our sisters, and so I have family all over the world that I get to visit and fellowship with. But over 10 years ago, I met this young lady. So her name is Nastya, and she has become an integral part of our lives. So Michelle and I have kind of taken on a mom and dad role to her, and she's lived with us. She's been here for off and on throughout the years on many, many trips. And so she is going to be doing a short announcement this morning, and then later on this evening, I asked you guys to come back so that you can hear the in-depth update on Ukraine. So let's give Nastya a round of applause.
Thank you. Good morning, church. Just wanted to say, when Pastor Randy asked me how much time I need this morning to give a brief update, I said I can do a few minutes with very short bullet points, or I can take over the service. There is no in between, so he gave me a few minutes. And as I was preparing, I was just amazed and in awe what God had done through our church family in Ukraine, in a war zone. And when I left Ukraine, the needs and the requests were so overwhelming, and I pray that God will send our direction the needs and the requests that He wants us to cover and that He will provide for. And I could see His provision, His faithfulness, His goodness over this year and a half. And you guys were part of it, huge part of it, and maybe you don't even realize how big and what an impact you made. There is a map of Ukraine in the presentation that you will see and we will discuss later on tonight. But all the labeled areas, or all the blue stars, is the labeled areas in Ukraine that somehow our church was able to help in with the needs, with requests, with medical items, with humanitarian supplies, with financial help. And it's not, it's only the areas that we are sure of. And there are more spots that we send supplies to that we are not aware of because of safety reasons. So you can see how God blessed us and, involved us in His work. And we sent hundreds of first aid medical kits to front lines, and front lines is the areas that are very close to war zone or war zone. They covered medical needs for civilians and military people on both sides. We sent 130 boxes of mostly medical but also humanitarian items with 2 containers to 5 frontline hospitals. We sent endoscopy equipment to another frontline hospital and 2 sets of surgical instruments for another 2 frontline hospitals. And we sent nutrition for malnourished kids and orphans, audio Bibles, and supported financially many needs that were coming up through the year. But all of that is just numbers and statistics. There is amazing story behind all of that, all of those supplies, all of those numbers that we talk about, and I love to share about it as we talk tonight, because I definitely need much more time for that. And so, you guys were Jesus' eyes and His hands and His feet and His connections, His brains and His wallets to supply all of this and be a part of all of this. And so I just invite you to come and hear more tonight. And I also wanted to say, it was very challenging year and a half for me, and